Hello and welcome back, traders. Today we're going to take a look at Emmerson Resources. So stay tuned, enjoy the show, and let's go. Well, Emmerson Resources is a company that operates in Australia, and they are specializing in gold mining. However, they've taken a different approach. They are one of the junior gold miners on the ASX, and they've always been capital poor, and so they've had to go about things in a different way. Now we're seeing a lot of the junior miners operating this way, where they actually have joint ventures. So they'll team up with other players, usually within the region they're based in, and they'll try to work as a team to extract gold, because it's cheaper to do that than it is to actually try and go it alone. So we'll take a look at Emmerson Resources today. Okay, so first things first, I've decided to start here with this announcement that came out in November of 2019. And the reason why I decided to do that was because I went through the 2020 announcements according to the ASX, and I found that there wasn't enough on there to really sort of tell me what was going on. And so I decided I'd go a bit further back, and I opened up this one here. I opened up a couple of other ones that are earlier on, but there's not really any reason to go through those today, because this announcement kind of summarizes that anyway. All right, so here it is, the announcement. Sorry, that's not it. I take it back. This is the one that came out on the 28th of April. So that's about a week and a half ago. I found this interesting because it was only a couple of days before that I got in on this stock when it hit previous lows, and I'll show you the chart soon. But this one here is interesting because of the capital raising that was involved as part of a joint venture. So we'll just go through this. Emmerson enters a strategic alliance with Northern Territory Bullion for the Northern Project area. So you'll hear that a little bit. So they have a Northern Project area and they have a Southern Project area. And they have two different royalty agreements with the North versus the South, with two completely different companies. And so I'm not sure why that would be the case, but it certainly diversifies the risk. So that's good. NT Bullion is to invest $2 million into Emmerson. So they'll get shares in return for the $2 million. And what I found interesting was the price. So they offered the $2 million at 14 cents per share, and it's at 100% to the 5-day VWAP. So a VWAP is like a moving average. So that's at 7 cents. So 100% of 7 cents equals 14 cents. So really, that's the price that they have received those shares for. And so that's a 100% premium, which is a significant hike. So what they've also done is they've decided to go in with a joint venture, and they've contributed $5 million of exploration funds for the Northern Project area, including an advance payment of $1 million. And then some costs that are reimbursed, about $400,000, pertaining to a drill program that happened earlier, probably last year actually. Now, the mining joint venture covers the Northern Project area, which is a significant tenement that is owned by Emmerson. Emmerson was in a position where they either had to raise a lot of capital at a significantly discounted price or get other people involved. And so that's what they've done here. This does not include Edna Beryl. Now, Edna Beryl is one of the other mines within the project area, but and it's got very, very high grade gold. And so this is good news that it doesn't include that. So the result is basically this. NT Bullion are going to put up the funds and are going to carry out the project, and their job and all Emmerson's got to do is receive 12% in gross revenue gold royalty from mining this location here. Now it's called Mauritania Now, Jasper Hills, this is not one that I'm that familiar with, but I do know a little bit about this one here. This is Mauritania. And we'll just go to another announcement they put out, and here it is here, Mauritania. So you can see here that we've got Emmerson's 100% northern project area tenements that are in blue. Okay, so that's all these here. There's that Edna Beryl. Okay, all this area through here, down here, and in there. A couple of these here, and this is the Mauritania project area, which will likely become an open pit mine. Now you can see here, if we look at 2018, these are some of the drill results that they came up with. Now I can tell you that that is this is a very good result. 22 meters thickness at 35 grams per ton of gold that would be pulled out of that 22 meters. And from 73 meters means that it's 73 meters underground. So it's very shallow, hence the open pit option. These are just simply the drill hole numbers. So we've got number 31, 32, 34, 27. And again, you can see there's a fairly wide widths, 24 meters at 15, 11 meters at 54, 7 meters at 13. Pretty solid, okay? And then in 2019, you've got further drill results. 20 meters at 38, 6 meters at 14, 24 meters at 2.19 grams per ton of gold. I wouldn't call that particularly good, but it's okay. And again, your depths, this is getting probably a little bit too deep to be open pit mine, but nevertheless, the grades are good. And 10 meters at 3, yeah, that's not overly great. So your first two are pretty good, and these two not so good. Now, the $5 million that they've received from NT Bullion is going to go towards a couple of things. Firstly, it's going to go towards further drilling. So they'll continue to drill not only within this area, but perhaps along the Quartz Hill fault line, or they might, I mean, I'll have to work out where it is. I don't know where that's going to be, but that's where they're looking at. And of course, you can see that it's relatively close to Evolution Mining's tenements, and they're a very large Australian gold miner. So it's nice to be near the big boys, and that's really good. Now they've also drilled out this area. I think it must be over here. It's about 20 k's away, which is not very far in terms of gold mining. Now, one of the problems for Emmerson has been, we'll go to the map now, is that the Mauritania mine or project area is located in Tennant Creek. Okay, it's, I'll just zoom out so you can see where that is. Right, so that's in Northern Territory. It's pretty much smack bang in the middle. But the problem has been, well, there's been a few problems, but one of the problems they've had is that they've not been able to mill the ore that they've pulled out of the ground around here. So they've actually had to truck it all the way over to Cloncurry. So you can see Emmerson's chart here. April 28, that was when that announcement came out. So we'll just have a look at that. There it is right there. It's this big day. Okay, and you can see that it certainly went up. It came back down. It's kind of settled in this area, but I still think it's looking strong. I'm looking to probably stay in this until this black line is broken by price action. So if it comes back down, you can see that that high matched up nicely with this volume profile extension node here. But I'm looking for more, particularly if they can find some gold, then I think we'll see really good moves like we had over here. So I could see this, for example, continuing on and working its way all the way up here. So that might put it, for example, back up at this price up here at 15 cents, which would actually pretty much be 100% on this low down here. Very common when you get retracements like this, when you get lows, that you'll end up with 100% return over the longer term. And you can see that this last run actually went from June 7, 2019, and here's the high in September. So it took 3 months to get there. So that might be the time frame we're looking at. And it might be that within that 3 months that we start to see some of those drill results come out, and it could get quite exciting, or it could end up being a dud, in which case we simply sell our allotment and move on. But that's Emmerson. If we look at the longer term view, you can see we hit this previous low here. This was the reason that we got in, because we see that it keeps tapping in this sort of, what do we got here? Sort of 6 to 7 range right there. So, you know, perhaps we'll get a run like this. It would be fantastic. And of course, even better would be something like this one. Okay. But you know, the news has to flow. If there's no news, it's never going to happen. So keep an eye on those announcements, and hopefully things will work out really well for us. Look, it's been a pleasure. Hope you enjoyed learning about Emmerson Resources and the potential. Have yourselves a great day.